Hey everybody, Alex Kozora, SteelersDepot.com, back with a Pittsburgh Steelers preview and prediction. Pittsburgh hosting the 0-1 Seattle Seahawks. The Steelers 1-0, Acrisure Stadium, 1 p.m. Eastern Time Sunday, the Steelers home opener. Let's talk about it. Before we start, if you guys could like this video, subscribe to the channel, and check out the site, SteelersDepot.com. Would really appreciate that. So starting with the Seattle Seahawks and their offense after losing 17-13 to the San Francisco 49ers in Week 1. There's certainly some parallels between Seattle and the Jets. There's a wide perimeter zone scheme. There's a two-headed running back attack in Seattle like the Jets had. Seattle having Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet. Their OC, first-year guy, Clint Kubiak, comes from that. Obviously, Kubiak and Shanahan tree, and so Pittsburgh will be tested in some of the same ways. Can they stop the zone running game? I think Pittsburgh historically has had more trouble with the zone stretch game than gap schemes and man schemes, and teams trying to be more big and physical and tougher. Pittsburgh usually wins those battles. The zone schemes, the Cleveland Browns schemes over the years have given them more fits. One advantage Pittsburgh has in this game, though, is they don't have to worry about the run element of the quarterback. And Pittsburgh obviously had to deal with that in Justin Fields, Sam Darnold. He can move a little bit, but he's not doing the design stuff that Fields is, obviously. And that's such a big game changer in terms of not having to spend time and energy and players on taking away him, whether you're having to dedicate a linebacker, off-ball linebacker to do that, or an edge guy who's holding and making the quarterback read, not able to chase the backside as hard. It's just much simpler to focus on the running backs and not that additional element of how do you defend the quarterback and make sure he's not going to bust off a big run as well. So that's a reason for optimism, but still the nuts and bolts of it will be stopping that stretch run game for Seattle. This will be a really good litmus test to, was Week 1 for Pittsburgh more of a blip, or is there a real fundamental concern about this team's run defense? In the passing game, it really revolves around one man, Jackson Smith-Njigba, who in Week 1 accounted for over 80% of Sam Darnold's passing yards, over half of his attempts, and over half of his completions. And so he was a big factor in Week 1. Wheel routes, deep 15, 20-yard digs, that's wherever he made his hay. I wonder if Jalen Ramsey will do more true shadowing on Smith-Njigba to make sure he's taken away and force other guys to step up. No Joey Porter Jr. this weekend with a hamstring injury, so it'll be Ramsey and Darius Slay and Brandon Echols. I wonder if we'll see a lot more Ramsey on that top receiver than we did in Week 1, where Ramsey really didn't travel with Garrett Wilson. Now, Seattle has some other playmakers. Cooper Kupp is in his first year in Seattle. I imagine Seattle's going to try to spread the ball around more. They know they can't be so concentrated on just one guy the way they were Smith-Njigba in Week 1. They got a talented rookie tight end, second-round pick Elijah Arroyo, really athletic. He's going to pose a challenge. No catches in Week 1. Pittsburgh without Deshaun Elliott in this game. Chuck Clark, maybe some of Jabril Peppers. We'll see how much he gets involved. Can the linebackers, Patrick Queen, Peyton Wilson, make sure that Arroyo does not make some plays? Because Seattle knows they just can't feed Smith-Njigba the entire game. Other guys have to get involved. So that's the matchup there. For Seattle's offensive line, they're young, they're talented, they got some pedigree. They have a first-round pick in left tackle Charles Cross. Their left guard's a rookie first-round pick Gray Zabel. From this year's draft, they were really high on taking him. They got a third-round pick, Abraham Lucas, whenever he's healthy. He's one of the better right tackles in football. So can Pittsburgh get some wins up front? Nick Herbig returns. That'll be big, but that battle up front, stopping that more traditional, fundamental running game will be really key, forcing Seattle in those third and longs, keeping them off schedule, and allowing that pass rush to really be more effective. Defensively, the Seahawks run a 4-3 front, which Pittsburgh generally struggles with more than the 3-4 odd front because they practice against a 3-4 team. The Jets were a 4-3 team, and I think the Seahawks up front with their front seven have some similarities to it. They have really good talent up front. Byron Murphy, last year's first-round pick. Leonard Williams still doing his thing. They got Mafe, DeMarcus Lawrence at defensive end. They got a healthy group of guys rotating in. They're getting healthier as well up front after missing some guys last week. So can Pittsburgh's offensive line win the point of attack? Can Pittsburgh run the ball? I think it'll be tough. I think it'll be similar challenges to that Jets game, a fast flow, aggressive, one-gapping defense that could really present some problems for Pittsburgh. Off-ball linebacker Ernest Jones is really, really talented. Doesn't get a lot of love out there. He's a West Coast guy. Rams and Seattle had an interception last week. So paramount to run the ball better. I'm skeptical Pittsburgh can. When it comes to Seattle secondary, a lot of cover 4 last week, some cover 3, but no longer. Is this the Seattle Legion of Boom, cover 3 across the board type of secondary? And their defensive coordinator, Mike Macdonald, he wants to bring pressure, or at least the illusion of pressure. Former Ravens defensive coordinator, and he's going to send a lot of exotic looks. We talked about these first 4 games, Pittsburgh facing some of these defensive-minded head coaches, some really good DCs, Aaron Glenn, Mike Macdonald, Mike Vrabel next week, Brian Flores, the Vikings DC in week number 4, and that's going to be a challenge in terms of who's coming, who's dropping, what's the protection like. Are they running man? Are they running zone? It's just hard to sometimes not guess, but be able to distill the information, not just pre-snap, but the post-snap picture that can often change in terms of what exactly is going to be the call from Seattle. So sorting that out from the offensive line, the backs protecting Aaron Rodgers, of course, the receivers knowing what routes to run. Are they going to be hot? That kind of stuff's going to be really important. But I think flooding Seattle's primarily zone coverage will be a factor. Hopefully play action can be a weapon. I think Seattle's pretty aggressive. They will bite on some stuff and give up passes behind them. Can those things be factors in this game? But Pittsburgh, the run game being on schedule more, that is critical. So my prediction in this one, going Pittsburgh 17, Seattle 9. Really low scoring affair. Shades of the Denver game last year. I think Pittsburgh's run defense will bow up and be a whole lot better. Being able to really dedicate all their energy on stopping the running backs, not having to worry about quarterback mobility. That's going to be a benefit in Pittsburgh's favor, taking away maybe their top weapon in the pass game in Jackson, Smith, and Jigba. We'll see if Ramsey's on him more this week. And while I'm not really confident Pittsburgh's run game will get back on track, hopefully it'll be a bit better, a little more successful on first down, an explosive run or two. I think Rodgers will be able to handle what Seattle throws at them. Pittsburgh being at home, obviously a benefit as well. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Your score predictions as well. You picking Pittsburgh to go 2-0? In the 7 times Pittsburgh has been 2-0 under Mike Tomlin, they've made the playoffs all 7 years. So this game historically could be telling about Pittsburgh's future come January. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and check out the site, SteelersDepot.com. Got a ton of post-game coverage for you guys, so thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.